Happy Tuesday, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Uh, TLR, we're back with the Ludicrous Report. As always, I am one of your co-hosts, Joey Karni, and with me, the amazing Diva Incarnate Issa. How are you? And I hope that this weather is treating you well, because I know you're still nearby. And
Yes.
it's,
I'm ready. I'm ready to go back to my nice warm weather island paradise. But
yeah,
it's nice being here too because I do miss the city. It's one of those things that when you're not here, you miss it, and then you're here, and you're like, yeah, I'm over it. Same
yep,
with Puerto Rico. When I'm not there, I'm like, God, I miss it, and then when I'm there, I'm like, yeah, I could take a trip. So it's just
yeah,
how life is. We always want what we don't have. That's
of
how
course.
life works.
I'm in that right now. I'm ready to get in your suitcase and go home with you because this is insane. It's
Listen.
dark right now. It's been raining all day.
I know today is not a let's go outside kind of day.
Yeah, and if it was raining, that's one thing, but it's also like 35 degrees or
I
whatever it is
know.
outside. So if it's cold and rainy, it doesn't work. But regardless,
Yeah,
I'm
it needs to
sure.
be one or the other. We don't like both.
Yeah, I'm ready for some sun and some green and some ocean and a nice breeze at this point.
But hopefully you take a vacation soon. You
I
have a
know,
friend in Puerto Rico, okay? Just saying.
absolutely. See there, but a plethora of topics to talk about today. Some that you brought, some that I found. Really interesting stuff. Some funny things. Some I feel like some reoccurring things on this show. We have some reoccurring themes. But we can start with what we have as the headline today. And first off, Jerry Winter says, "Hey Issa."
Hi, Jerry.
We always have the Issa fan club in here. This is I say it every week. This is the Issa fan club show. Uh, but yeah, the guy who created in 2017 the
Yes, can you believe
Fyre
it's been
Festival.
5 years? Because that was the first thing that shook me. Let's keep going. But that was the first thing
Yeah,
that shook me that I was like, it's been that long? It feels like it was just yesterday.
it does. It's insane. Billy McFarland. It sounds like a character from a show. Every time I say it, I'm like, that sounds like someone you'd
Oh,
see.
oh, he's definitely a character.
Definitely a character. But yeah, this guy's been in jail for the last 4 or 5 years. Created the Fyre Festival, which is supposed to be this luxurious Bahamas music festival that everybody gets their own tent and this luxurious meal prep thing. And people got, I don't know if you had a chance to watch the was it a Hulu documentary or it
Oh,
was
I
some.
watch both and
Oh
everything in between,
man.
every YouTuber video. I follow that thing since the hashtag, like since it was happening in the Bahamas. I was obsessed with the Fire Festival. I
uh
didn't like the way that some people handled it because a lot of people made fun of like, oh, you guys are rich, that's what you get. When it was like, no, they pay for a freaking service and it's not fair that they're going through this regardless of what status they are. It
yeah,
was it was a weird, it was weird the way that social media reacted to it. But yes, I watched both Hulu and Netflix documentary, which were
yeah,
very different documentaries,
yes
by
they
the
were.
way. One of them was produced by the F. Jerry people who were involved within the Fire Festival. So I think they were just trying to clean their image. But
Yeah,
yes, I was obsessed, still are obsessed with Fire Festival things, which is probably why this news article showed up in my somewhere in my algorithm that I was like, what I love about doing this show off topic is that now when I see this random news, now I have somewhere to go and talk about it. I saw it and I sent it to you immediately. I was like, we have to talk about this. Before
insane.
you will read, scroll, shake your head, and keep going. Now I'm like, oh, I can't wait to talk about it.
Yeah, this guy is just like we said. He's a character. I mean, he went to
He
jail for
was
this whole thing.
Yeah, and he was a scammer before the Fire Festival. He also had
Yes.
created that weird card thing that was also a big fat scam. But yeah, so this guy, he's committed to the scamming lifestyle.
And who's the guy that he was like in bed with? Was
Ja
it Joe
Rule.
Joe Rule? Yeah,
Yes, it was Ja Rule.
this guy.
I don't think that Ja Rule had anything to do with it. If you want me to be honest, I think that Ja
I
Rule
don't think
was
so.
just gonna be like a name or something that you attach to a brand.
Yep,
I think I
like a
told you
well-known
before when
investor or something.
right when I worked for a company in the past, we had a celebrity that people thought was involved or like
Of
owned the
course.
company because the name of the celebrity was a part of it. But
Yeah,
no, she was just there. We were paying her to show up. It was just a matter of like getting a known name attached to the brand because that helps you, get it going. And I think that's what Ja Rule fell into here.
yeah. And I do hope he stays away from this next venture with this guy. And what I think is hysterical about this is that this guy apparently didn't learn his lesson the first time, because now he has announced plans for a virtual reality event to take place in the Bahamas, which is where the whole Fyre Festival thing took place originally. And the article says, despite the local government warning him, he is not welcomed there.
Yeah, the people in the Bahamas hate him. They hate him. I don't even understand why. I mean, I get it. I've been to the Bahamas. I fell in love. I want to go back to the
I
Bahamas
love
once
it
a
there.
year if I had it my way. Like, the Bahamas is beautiful. The people are incredible. So you can't blame him for trying to fix things and wanting to go back and probably trying to make the Bahamas his home. He's trying to figure
Yeah.
out a way to create a successful business there so he can stay there. But yeah, he's not. I don't know why he would have the impression that he would be welcome there
Yeah.
again.
Well, do you think that's why he's doing it in the Bahamas? Do you think it's to like kind of fix his wrongs, or do you think that
No,
he's just he sees a loophole somewhere to make some money and save some money or do whatever?
I don't think this guy wants to fix his wrongs. Like, before he
No.
went to jail, he was doing that ticket scam. Remember, where he used the emails from the Fyre Fest attendees and,
Yep.
and were sending them like these scam tickets that were not real tickets. So I feel like if he wanted to right his wrongs, he would have started then, instead of trying to figure out what his next scam was and using
Yeah.
his already victims, to this. And this whole thing sounds weird, because it does sound like there's going to be like a location hotel in the Bahamas, but people are going to be able to be there virtually, but people are also going to be able to be there like in person. And the
Yeah.
funniest part of this whole like report is, and you can find it on TikTok. I know we talk about our obsession with TikTok. He did a presentation that looked like it was from his grandma's basement. Like,
Oh,
I was like, what are you doing? Like, nobody's gonna invest into this. The sad thing is that he's done it before 3 times. He might get it done again.
yeah. And like we said, like he spent 4 years in prison for defrauding the investors, which was like over $26 million for this music festival.
Do you ever wonder, like, this is a serious question. Are people that stupid rich that they just donate money without wanting to find out like a current status? Like, let me fly out there and see how these things in the Bahamas are going. Let me send a representative out there to see where, because people kept giving him money for the Fyre Fest when it was
Yeah.
really not happening. And it just makes you wonder, are these investors people that knew him and trusted him, or are these people so rich that they just donate money without really finding out where their money is going? Because I feel like if I had that kind of money, I will research what I'm investing into.
Yeah.
And if it comes down to they're coming back and calling me like, hey, we might need more money, it's like, okay, well, let me bring it in person, or let me send somebody and you can show me the business plan and show me where these luxury cabanas are and where these houses are and these yachts. Like, none of that was secure at any point.
Yeah. I don't think the investors were like people who just like they gave their all of their money up for this. I
Right.
think it's people who have a lot of money who just didn't even care to look the other way. They saw all their friends investing. They saw it as an opportunity to do something, and maybe he promised them like, oh, like we'll put your company all over the merchandise or whatever. I don't know. It just has to be something where people are, I don't know.
Hear me out. What if they were all in it and it was like a money laundering scheme just to wash out some money?
That's what
Oh.
I think it was, to be honest with you. I think that it was just everybody kind of, he found crooked people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, listen, you can like make it a tax write-off,
Yep.
because a lot of these investors a lot of times like invest in like failed ventures just so they can have tax write-offs and things that they can say, oh well, this is where my money went, and not account for it.
Yeah.
That's a
I think
conspiracy of mine, but I don't look at life the normal way, obviously.
but there's so many things that go into this. Like even from before with the original Fyre Festival, they were promised luxury tents and all this stuff, and luxury meals. And what were they given? Like bread with cheese on it? Like
Yes. The picture of the sandwich was my
like
most favorite thing
like
of that entire weekend mess.
and they had all these celebrities there, like Kendall Jenner and whoever, like
They had no celebrities there. They paid. I think they paid Kendall $250,000 for one single post promoting Fyre Festival.
Oh,
And then they
it
paid,
was to promote. Okay, I didn't
yeah,
know they
they
had them
paid
there.
the influencers. This was super smart, in my opinion, because
Yeah.
they paid all of the big Instagram people to post that orange square at the same time on the
Yeah.
same day. And it was like,
Yeah.
because they understand the algorithm. So they got a handful of pretty much every influencer to make sure that everybody saw that freaking orange square. But the marketing was done by F. Jerry. They're known to be a huge marketing company. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
But yes, they were promised, some people were promised houses and they were supposed to like go and rent all these Airbnbs. He scheduled this Fyre Festival at the same time of a big regatta event that was
Yeah.
happening in the Bahamas. So there was no rentals or hotel spaces available for anybody. It was a mess. And then he did the bracelet thing. Remember when he asked people to preload their
Yep.
bracelets with money and it was just to get more money out of people? That's crazy. They were like, to be comfortable for the weekend, please preload your bracelet with $3,000. If it's all inclusive, why do I need $3,000 on my bracelet?
In the article, they have a picture of him like literally with a dry erase board.
Yes.
Like you it says festival event metaverse.
Oh my god. Oh my
Maybe
god.
he's in it with Facebook.
No.
Yeah, no, probably.
Don't even get me started on how horrible the metaverse is.
Yeah. But this guy, I mean, I give him credit for like trying it again, but
No.
come on, dude. Like how many times?
No.
Come on. If you tried it once and it didn't work, and then you tried it, I don't know. If you're just if you're known to be scamming people,
Yes.
I mean, at this point, why are you still doing this? It makes
Because it's all he's known. That's all he's done his whole life. He's gonna
Yeah.
continue doing it. At this point, I think he will make more money out of selling his story.
Yeah.
We talked off air about somebody that waited a couple of years and sold her story, and whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, I guarantee you she made bank, and we'll get into it. But guarantee you she made bank out of selling the story because people like these infamous characters for whatever reason. We want to hear their side of the story. So he probably could have waited a couple of more years and just say, "Hey, Billy whatever speaks for the first time after jail," and that would have probably got him a couple of $1,000 to restart over.
Well, speaking of people who have shared their story as of late, if you are familiar, all the people watching and listening right now, if you're familiar with Friends, you know Matthew Perry, who was on Friends as Chandler Bing, for those huge Friends fans like myself. He recently came out with a I guess an autobiography, talked about his life, and he shared some reasons as to why he doesn't rewatch Friends anymore, and a lot of it, stems from his drug addiction. And I saw in an interview that like he used to go to open houses, like he would just find open houses, and his reasoning for doing that was to look through all the medicine cabinets for prescription drugs to steal. Like crazy, just like things, because he had a drug problem. And there's some episodes where like you can see he's really, really skinny, or like you can see like he's just not doing well. And there's a lot of the show where he doesn't remember even filming because he was doped up. And this article was just him talking about why he really doesn't watch Friends anymore, and it's because of his drug and alcohol addiction and his.
So that's why he was at the thick of it, I'm assuming, and
Yep.
it probably brings him back those memories. And once you're an addict, you're always an addict. It's just a matter of staying away from triggering things. Guarantee you, it's gotta be something that triggers some kind of emotion that he doesn't like, and you can't blame him for that.
Nope. I'm a huge fan of Friends. I've rewatched, I think, every episode. I don't even know how many times. And knowing now what he was going through, you would never see that in his character. Like it was never like, there was times where he looked different, that I can say.
Yeah.
But besides that, his attitude, his personality, like it didn't show anything was wrong on the outside. And that to me just shows how great he is at his craft. but it's also really sad.
It is, and there's a lot of, if you look at stories about people that have an addiction problem with prescription drugs, your body starts becoming kind of immune to it, so you start needing more and needing
Yep.
more, right? But the thing of it is that a lot of them get used to functioning as normal even while they're taking a lot of this, and it takes a lot, or mixing them before you start seeing like a difference in the way they pronounce their words, or you know what I mean. So that's the shocking thing, that a lot of times these people just are able to function while under the effect of whatever they're taking. And it's not just him or actors or
Yeah.
prescription drugs. It's just, I mean, we've heard stories of like wrestlers. I don't want to bring it back up, but a lot of them have gone through a lot of addictions and you could never tell, and they're going out there like that. But a lot of them become able to function to the point that you really can't tell if they're high or not.
Yeah. And like I said before, watching it so many times, I would never be able to tell where, what was going on. But he says in the article, he goes, I could tell season by season by how I looked. He knew exactly what stage he was in, by which season he would, like, if he was to go rewatch the show, based upon what season he was watching, he knew where he was mentally, like with those struggles. And it's crazy. Like, for him, it's different for us because we didn't live it. But for him, who has to, as time goes by, Friends, I think, gets more popular. Yeah. And he's always asked, about the show. Like, he is forever known as Chandler Bing, wherever he goes, right, whatever role he plays. So that basically shows that his struggles will follow him forever based upon that character. And that's got to be like a very, I don't know, very, like, to be in I guess a dark place, or you find a way to work through that.
Yeah, I feel bad because that is something that's going to follow him forever, but maybe he can take it as a learning experience. While everybody's going to always asking about Chandler and Friends, he's able to overcome that now today, and that's probably what he should look at, but it's incredible that because I'm not a Friends person. And this article you found, so I didn't know where you were going with it, and now I'm shocked that that's the reason why he doesn't go back and rewatch it. I was originally, when you told me the headline of the article, I was originally thinking that it was of a time, like good times, bad times, something that he hasn't been able to like top, because they peaked. A lot of them peaked at that moment, and they haven't been able to escape that character. So I really thought that's what we were going with. That you completely took me by surprise with that.
Yeah, and this show went 10 seasons, and every episode was different. I mean, there was a lot that went into the show, and like I said, it was one of the most popular shows, I think, of our generation. And just to see, like, because on the show he was he was a comedian, like a comedic character, and always the catchphrases and the reactions, and like you would never think that someone like this was going through these real life issues, and it makes you think, like, today, like, when you're watching shows or movies, like the moral is you never know what people are going through. That's basically what it is. And
everybody's fighting a battle. I know there's a cute little motivational like thing out there, meme about everybody's fighting a battle. You never know, and that just goes to show you to be kind to everyone.
Yeah, and this is kind of a great transition into the next article. And speaking of going or facing some battles here and there, but I feel like one of the recurring themes on the show is our Kardashian corner. That I'm going to start calling the Kardashian corner with a K.
I love it. We have our first segment because we do talk about them every week.
Every week, I don't know. We've talked about it before, how like we both go look for articles, and because there's so damn many of them, it's hard for them to not be in the media. And I think this is one of the funniest ones so far that we've had on this show.
Funny for us, can't be for her.
Funny for us. But let me read you the first line. I'm going to do some reverse psychology. It's hysterical.
Okay.
I'm going to read you the first line of the article, and then I'm going to read you the title of the article.
Okay.
The first line says, Kim Kardashian is putting her safety first.
Okay.
The title of the article is Kim Kardashian gets restraining order against man claiming to speak with her telepathically.
Do you think the restrainer order covers telepathy? Like, can he come close to her when he's trying to speak to her?
I don't know how this restraining order is going to get passed, because if he's speaking to her telepathically,
Yeah, that's what I'm
that
saying.
means that he's not near her.
Yeah, he can't go near her physically, but can he still try to communicate? Oh my
How?
god.
I
I
mean,
mean,
like, I get the restraining order. Like, if he obviously this guy is Looney Tunes, and maybe he's not.
1000%.
Maybe there's a way for him to talk, telepathically. But I guess she's just prepping herself in case this guy does try to uh, find her physically. I don't know.
It's crazy. Like the people's obsessions this is I wasn't expecting that one. You sent me that and I was like, what? Does
You
he
know,
have any evidence of communication? Is he using a Ouija board? Because then that's not Kim Kardashian that he's talking to.
I'm gonna promote your content right now, because first off, your content is always through the roof, fantastic, amazing,
Likewise,
all
my
great
friend.
words. But for Kim Kardashian for this guy to speak telepathically to Kim Kardashian, it's almost like she's talking to ET, right? Like like I mean,
Yes.
yeah. I
She
know
should also get a restraining order on ET if you know how I feel about him.
I know you are a huge fan of ET. You love
No.
ET.
Do not trust ET. Never trusted him since the second I saw him.
For all those listening and watching, if you go check out Issa's Twitter, she does not like ET, and it's at NYC Demon Diva, and she put on, I think, the greatest piece of content I've ever seen in my entire life. I didn't expect to laugh so much. I came into this show so excited because I had watched it before. If you get a chance, go watch it. She gives you a great rundown of ET. But besides the
Good reading. It's like you and I both know it's a good reading of ET. Okay.
and it's funny because now that I'm reading it, like, looking at the article, I'm like, oh my god, this is like a ET reference. Like, I had to throw it out there. So
Yeah, but I don't feel bad for this guy. It's just like I just want more explanations to how are you talking to her? Why are you making these claims? And how crazy has it gotten that she had to go to the point of getting a restraining order?
yeah,
Because she is like she has millions of fans, millions of obsessed fans. So how crazy has it gotten with this one that it came to that point?
yeah,
I was watching a silly YouTube video last night. And it was like this guy was like, oh, the $60,000 a night hotel room in Dubai, right? And then he's like, oh, who's also being in this bed? He's showing the room. He goes, Kim Kardashian, stay here. And then he makes this comment and he's like, oh, let me look for a hair so I can clone her. And I'm like, that's not creepy or anything.
what?
I'm like, why would you say that?
Yeah.
And then
That's
I
what
was like,
he's probably thinking something much worse, and he's being like PG with what he's saying. Like,
I know, but it was like, you're doing a tour of the hotel room. Like,
yeah,
you already know that, like, it was just a creepy comment. And I'm like, these girls have to be used to this kind of comments, like,
yeah.
always. And it's like crazy. To me, it was crazy. I'm like, that's super creepy, dude. I don't know if you caught it. And then in the comments, people were like, the Kim Kardashian comment was not needed here.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel bad for them.
I'm looking more into the article now, and she did get the restraining order granted, so she did get it. And it says it's against a man who has been trying to get in contact with her and claimed to speak with her telepathically. December 5th. Permanent
Yeah, no.
5-year restraining order. He has to stay 100 yards away from Kim, and it prohibits him, obviously, from contacting her directly or indirectly. So I guess he can't talk to her telepathically anymore.
Right. No,
Whatever that
but
means.
listen, whatever she has to do to protect, her safety or whatever, I just feel like, to me, it's just crazy what they deal with. And we talked about it, I think it was last week, like at the scale, right? We're talking about silly things that might happen to us, or how we feel like when we get recognized and we just have this little podcast on YouTube or whatever. But imagine at that scale, And how do you make the choice of, okay, this one is starting to get extra creepy, we need some
Yeah.
protection? Another question is like, how many restraining orders do they have out there, right? And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I have so many questions, and I'm just glad that they're safe and they can afford big fat security teams at this point,
Yeah.
because but that is insane. That is insane. And it's not, there's a series on Netflix right now, and I haven't even watched it. I'm shocked that I haven't clicked on it, but I just think it's gotta be so creepy. And it's the I'm a Stalker one, where
I
it's
keep
like,
seeing that. I haven't watched it, but I've seen it pop up.
so I watch I'm a Killer, and I'm assuming it's like a spin-off from that. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know why, because I should probably be more creeped out by the people that are murdering people, but I can't clip on the I'm a Stalker one because it's like, I don't want to know the length of, like, if you're already in jail for it, how creepy did your stalking get? And
Yeah.
the way that some celebrities have experienced it, to the point that we have seen celebrities passed away from crazy freaking
Yeah.
stalkers. Like, it's a scary world, and it has to be horrible for them.
Yeah, and we're making jokes of it and making light of it, but if you look back, I mean, she was robbed at gunpoint in Paris at one point in her life. Like,
Hmm.
thought she was gonna die, duct taped. So these little things come up, and to us, they're like,
How did
haha,
that even
funny.
happen? I always question that
Yeah,
not question that it happened, just question how did that even freaking happen?
yeah,
Because I mean, I'm glad she's okay,
of
right, and
course.
everything, and but my God, the fact that somebody got out through the security, like we're watching, because we talked about it in our show
Yeah,
before, like they have to rent villas and private houses when they go on vacation, like they don't stay at just a hotel.
no,
And even when these celebrities go to regular hotels or regular events, they have their own entrances, they have their own everything. They're not going through where people know, oh, Kim is here. So it's crazy, because I do know that the Kardashians do a very good job at protecting their privacy. So
yep,
the fact that that even happened, and like you were saying, is scary. We've seen scary things happen to them already, and this guy, I don't know what
yeah,
what could he be telling her telepathically that scared her so
yeah. Imagine she comes out and she says, "My head hurts. Like, I feel like he's trying to get in contact with me.
much.
I
you
feel
know,
his energy."
Speaking of the Kardashians, I have my own transition this week, because last
Hey,
week we
well,
talked about the Kardashians' grandkids, and neither one of us could figure it out. So I did my homework, and I am ready to share with you how many Kardashian grandkids are there, and I have all the info. But you wanna guess how many there are?
I'm going to say 16. Oh.
Oh damn, you went way ahead. It's 12. It's
Oh,
12.
okay. 12.
And I want to make sure that Google knows. Google, you're not updated, because when you Google it, it comes off as 11. So Google still hasn't registered the last one that Chloe has. So,
Ah,
so we have from Kourtney Kardashian, Mason, who's already 12. I remember when she was pregnant with the
wow.
first grandbaby. He's already 12. We have Penelope, 9. We have Rain. Love that name. Wonder why. Rain is 7 years old now.
Wow.
Now we have from Kim Kardashian, we have Nord. She's 9. Saint, he's 6. Chicago, 4. And Palm is 3.
Yep.
Uh, Khloe Kardashian has Dream, and then the baby that she just had, we know it's a baby boy, but she hasn't made the baby's name public. So, baby number 2 from Khloe Kardashian. We have Dream through Rob Kardashian,
Yep.
and we have Stormy, who's already 4. Stormy is 4.
Wow.
Can you believe that? Yeah. And then
Sure.
the 5-month-old, who people thought were nameless, but in the season finale on Hulu, Kylie revealed that they are still calling him Wolf. So she had said that his name was Wolf, and then she said, no, that's not his name. We changed it, but she revealed on Hulu that no, that is still in fact his name, and they might change it later. I don't understand
Yeah.
what the point is on keeping these names private or make them public, but I did my homework, Joey. I hope you're proud.
I
12
am proud.
grandbabies.
12. Wow. 12 kids. That's
Norty is still my favorite, though.
Oh,
So.
of course. North is my favorite. But let's see if we can agree with the second one, because I know who my second favorite is.
Ooh, okay. Who's your second favorite?
And I hope I hope it's the same one as yours. My second is Rain.
I like Rain because of the
Kid's got
name.
such a personality.
I like Rain because of the name and personality.
Yeah.
I do like Stormy a lot. I do. The very
Stormi
little
would
that
probably be my third.
Kylie lets us sing with Stormy,
Yeah.
she seems to have a big personality. I remember
Yeah.
the video that Kylie posted of her leaving her alone with the treats to see how
Yeah.
she will react. Like, oh my God,
I
I was
remember
like,
seeing
this
that.
is freaking adorable.
Yeah.
So I think it's funny because a lot of the other babies are not as public
Yeah.
as some of them are. So I go based on what I see on TikTok, and Nord is all over TikTok.
Of course.
So I love Nord, but yeah, I'm gonna have to say Stormy and then Rain. I'm more of a fan of Rain's name.
Yeah. I just
I
think
think
the
that's a
kid seems
badass
so
name.
cool. Like he's always got like cool haircuts and
Yeah.
little kid with like a mohawk and I don't know.
Mason too, though. Mason is a little badass. I remember when he used to run around with
I
the
don't see much from.
sunglasses.
I don't see much from.
Not anymore.
Not
I
anymore, right?
know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but the original E shows, Mason was the star.
yeah. But 12
I think
grandkids.
maybe he just faded away because there's too many grandkids now.
Well, I think because he got older, like they probably wanted him to feel more normal in a sense.
Well, you're still the first one, Mason.
Yeah.
Okay, never forget.
Seriously. But 12 grandkids, that's in not a long period of time either.
No,
Like
no, I
first
know
one,
because
first one's
because
12.
the first one came during. Well, I don't know because sometimes I forget how long these girls have been on TV.
Yeah.
Like because I was like, I remember the first one was born when they were on E. Well, they were on E for years, so you
Well, if
know.
you think about when the original Kardashian show was aired, Kylie and Kendall were like little kids, and
They were
now they're
kids.
almost 30.
And none of Chloe, Kim, and Courtney. Courtney's the one that has changed the least physically, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think Courtney still looks the same, but you go back and watch those original episodes, nobody looks the same anymore.
No. Chloe, I mean, kudos for her for, doing all those things that she always talked about in the show that she wanted to do, but she looks like night and day.
Yeah.
Night and day. But I don't know. They
Kylie. Kylie's crazy. Her change is crazy.
well, you didn't know. It's all because of her lip kit, obviously.
Oh yeah. You can achieve it. All you have to do is overline your lip.
Yeah. No, just overline in some medical bills. You'll be perfectly fine.
And you know what? We're talking about the Kardashian babies. Did you hear about Kanye's child support?
I honestly
That was in the news this week, Joey. Come on.
there's too many headlines regarding Kanye West, and the biggest one is the one that just I lost.
I don't want to
He
talk
lost
about
me.
that one.
He lost me completely. So
Yeah.
tell me about
Yeah,
the,
first of all, I can't believe he was on the Alex Jones show, but I really don't even want to talk about that. Like, I feel like you, I am done. But I will tell you that the divorce have made official between Kim Kardashian and
saw that.
Kanye West, and his child support to Kim Kardashian, which people are very critical about because she's a billionaire herself, but he is to pay $200,000 a month to Kim Kardashian on child support.
Hmm.
Technically speaking, that's $50K per kid.
Yeah.
Because they do have 4. Like a lot of people are just looking at the big number and it's like, okay, they do have 4. I could support myself with $50K a month, but
Yeah.
whatever. So people are being very critical about it, but I feel like, okay, well, child support gets calculated by the court
Yeah.
with like the incomes. Like they look at all of this.
Of course, there's a strategy behind coming up with that number.
Correct. And Kanye West, right? Let's just keep it real. And okay, come for me if you don't like my opinion, because in my opinion, Kanye West is not fitted to be the sole custody person of these kids.
Not at
So
all.
first of all, that right there, you're gonna have to pay full child support whether you like it or not, because you are not mentally there right now. And I don't know if he's ever mentally there, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
So we have to admit from the get-go, whether I'm not saying he's a bad dad. I seen him spend time with them. I seen them beg to be let into their birthday parties and everything. So I know he cares, but he can't have full sole custody.
No.
And another thing is, we were just talking about it. How much does it take to just pay a security team to keep these kids safe every month? That might just be what Kim pays on security a month. Yep. So, I get that people think it's an exaggerated amount, but it's like...
Yeah. There's a lot more that goes into
one
it.
of your kids got you for 18 years. Sorry, I'm quoting Kanye himself.
No, but it's true though. I mean, I don't think people are in any position to be critical of that number because, like what you just said, like what goes into the security? You know, for example, how many kids do they have? Four or
Four.
five?
Four kids.
You know, depending on their lifestyle, well, not depending on their lifestyle. You see their lifestyle.
We
but
know their lifestyle, correct?
that $200,000 is technically not supposed to. It's called support. It's
Is
not
he going to
supposed
be
to
able
take care
to
of
keep up
everything.
with it if he keeps losing brands? That is my question. How much money does Kanye have now? Because I'm not sure how much revenue he's going to be able to take in if he keeps self-sabotaging himself.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw the video. He did a video about like he said gotcha to the whole Adidas thing, like how nobody was ever able to get a deal,
Get out of a deal.
get out of a deal because of a tweet.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought when I was like, oh, he just wanted out of his deal with Adidas, so he just acted crazy and got it, gotcha. And then the other stuff came out. I'm like, this guy is crazy. Like he actually is insane.
Well,
And
as
then,
soon as I heard he was going to be on Alex Jones, I'm like, really? That's the platform you chose to be on? Like Alex Jones? Like we all know he's been the platform. All that he has left is his own website because they don't allow him on YouTube anymore or anything.
Yeah.
He was in court over some of the allegations that he made. Like Alex Jones is not a good place to go if you're trying to make yourself look any better. But after I saw his statements, yeah, he wasn't going to make himself look any better. But yeah, to your point, I did think at first that he wanted out of Adidas so he could create his own massive Yeezy brand because it's so big at this point. I don't think that's what it is anymore.
I don't know. I let me ask you a question. When you saw him, obviously he was covered head to toe and clothes. Do you actually think it was him it was actually him on the show?
He was even wearing a mask.
Yeah,
right?
I debate him like, what if this is not even him, and it's like a fake Kanye to kind of like pull a stunt, and then it's not actually him.
Well, okay.
It sounded like him, but
okay, I will conspire that until he doubled down on Twitter. If he would have not gone and made the stupid tweets that he made out and tweeted the offensive things that he tweeted out, I was like, damn, he could have said that wasn't even me, and people will probably believe him. I was watching a YouTube video, story of my life. I was watching a YouTube video and it was like this commentary channel, but they were like, Kanye gets the most understanding from the public ever. And I found myself agreeing because he's probably one of the few celebrities that does a lot of F up things. And I'm still like, well, let me hear him out. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you heard the things that he said from anybody else, you'll be like, oh no, I'm done with you. But when it's Kanye, for some reason, I'm always like, okay, let me go ahead and read the whole article. Let me go ahead and listen to the interview. Like he gets so much. Like Kanye should have been canceled a long time ago. Am I there to call him uncancelable? If that's even a word. I don't know that he can be canceled at this point.
And I have a strong opinion on him too because there's a lot of his music that I like.
I love his music,
but
I love his music.
The last couple years of him,
I know.
I am not a fan. No, I'm not a fan of the last couple of years. There's some lyrics where he said the first album, I thought about killing you, like you thought he thought about killing Kim.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the lyrics.
He's going backwards. That's like when Eminem started, those were his lyrics with Kim, and then he evolved and he got better. Kanye's like going backwards.
Yeah, like think about like his kids are gonna grow up one day. They're gonna hear those lyrics about how daddy wanted to do this to mommy, and it's like, oh no, it's because he's a lyrical genius. That's always the leniency. He's a genius. He's a mastermind. He is a mastermind. He found a way to position himself in a way where people are not going to come for him the way they should because he's a genius.
Yeah. I always liked him. There's a couple of in the last few years, I have a few songs in my Yeezy playlist. But I will tell you, the last full album that I downloaded and loved was Jesus. After that, it's like a song here or there from the rest of the albums, but not the full album like he used to be. Jesus is where he peaked for me as a fan of his music. He's done great things musically, okay? Musically, he's done great things after. But the last album, like before Jesus, all the albums, I have all of the songs. Like I loved everything that he did. And then after that, it just started to get a little too crazy for me. Like,
well, think about then. He started calling himself Jesus, and everyone's like, he's claiming himself to be Jesus, and it's like, we should have known then this guy was nuts. Like,
I mean, there was a song called "I Am a God" on the album. Like we should have seen it coming.
And it's like maybe it's our fault. Maybe we just fed him what
do
he
you
wanted.
do you ever wonder, like, because a lot of people might be like, oh, she pulled backed out or whatever, but it's like not only for the safety of the kids, but do you not want to give her props for sticking around for so long? Because if we see him act this way in public, can you imagine what dealing with him in private might be like? You know, like, I don't know that we'll ever hear. Kim knows her brand, so she's not gonna go out there and talk crap about him. That's what I love the way that she's handled this whole thing, where she's just not.
She
She's
sits
not
quietly
really.
until the end.
Yeah, and but I really do wonder sometimes, because I do think that when somebody, I know a close friend of mine that had to go to therapy because she was, with somebody that had a lot of issues, and therapy, that at some point the therapist told my friend, where she was like, you also have to worry about your own mental health. So if you can't handle it, you need to figure out what the best solution is. And
Yeah.
it's just like, and that's just my friend. She didn't have any kids involved. Imagine you have 4 kids, they're growing
4
older,
kids.
they're seeing your dad's behavior, they're starting to understand. Like
And
I,
North
I
is
I
older.
honestly thought that she stayed for longer than what I thought she would have.
Yeah. And like, some of the kids, like they're all different ranges of age. So
Yeah.
like look at North. North knows and sees what's going on. She's a part of TikTok. We always talk about how she's always involved with TikTok. Like she obviously sees what's going on with her dad. There's no way to hide that from her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as the other kids get older, they're gonna see it too. And you know what the worst part is though? I think the worst part is for those kids, because they are a part of him, because they look like him, because they are him. They're gonna grow up and they're gonna get hate because of their father. They're gonna be shunned and pushed away because they are a part of Kanye.
It's gonna become we'll see them as they grow old, but the
Yeah.
way that these kids have to be raised so differently, not even just because of Kanye, but because of their mom too.
Yeah.
And like, people are going to hate the Kardashians because they're famous for
Yep.
nothing, or they've done nothing, even though they have proven to be probably the biggest. Like, I think they're marketing wise geniuses.
Oh,
Like,
genius.
how did they turn
Genius.
themselves into all of these brands? Look at all the projects they're involved in. Like, okay, we started with a X-rated movie and a reality show, but look where they're at now. You know how many people have had a X-rated movie and a reality show and go nowhere? Like, so I don't know. We'll see how these kids grow, because when you think about it, with the factor of Kim being so big and Kanye being so big, how do you raise these kids to be ready for all of this while still having a happy childhood? And because it goes beyond they have everything they want, we know that, but it goes beyond that. But overall, to wrap up this topic, I don't care if his child support is 200,000 a year. He should have got his shit together and make his marriage work. If he didn't want to pay that amount, if not, then pay it. And if it was the other way around and she was the one that's not all there, I guarantee you they would have also made her pay 200,000 a year, because she has the money. If he was the one with the custody, it would have gone that way as well.
Yeah, I mean, and he's in, like you said, to wrap this up, he was a billionaire at one point a couple months ago. Now he's not. Like, if there is an issue
I'm
with having
worried
to
about his
pay,
income.
if there's an issue with having to pay for his kids, I mean, like, come on, dude. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those. I'm sure we could sit here for hours and
Oh
just
yeah,
talk about the Kardashians and
the
Kanye.
Kardashian corner. I love it every
Kardashian
week.
corner with a K. But this last article, or I guess just piece of information you found, and I thought it was really interesting as I was reading through it. And it's kind of crazy, where it
Oh yeah.
basically tells you about pieces of music memorabilia that people paid a lot of money for. And one of those being, let's pull up one here, the jacket that Michael Jackson wore in Thriller.
Yep.
I know you saw the article already, but do you know, like, a guess how much someone paid for that?
I would have said 1 million, but it went above that. If you have me guess, I know it because I obviously read the article. But if you would
Yeah.
have asked me first thought, I would have said 1 million, because I do think Thriller is such an iconic music video of Michael Jackson that is something that would have probably sold for a lot. But I would have said maximum 1 million, not what it was.
1.8 million.
That's crazy. You know, I don't want to bring it back to this because we said we were done. But did you ever see when Kim dressed North for Halloween in the smooth criminal outfit, and she
Yes.
was actually wearing the smooth criminal hat that Michael Jackson wore? I was like, what a legend!
Just like she wore to the Met Gala, she wore
Yeah.
Marilyn Monroe's actual dress.
Okay, that I'm 1000% against, but
Yes.
we don't need to get into that. However, the fact that she dressed like people were like, she doesn't even know what she's been dressed as because she's a child, and I'm like, who cares? She's gonna be able to flex this when she's older
She's
and
wearing the
understands.
real thing.
Like that's crazy. Like these kids are not wearing costumes; they're wearing like the real freaking memorabilia. Like
That's like being
my
Roman
mind was
Reigns'
blown.
kid, and for Halloween, he lets you hold his Universal Championships, the ones he actually uses,
Right, right, exactly.
not the replica. These are the
Not the
real
replica.
deal.
Correct. Correct.
And,
That
and not to go
the
off
thing
topic,
is
but I saw Roman with the titles on your Twitter. He had the Universal title.
yes, with
Big
the
dog,
Roman plates, of course. We had the real
of course.
thing, you know.
Of course.
Yeah, Roman wanted to be acknowledged, so I thought we'd
Yeah,
do a quick photo shoot for him.
love it. So what were we saying?
No, I was gonna say that there was people in the article. Somebody paid $6,000 for an empty prescription pill bottle of Elvis Presley.
I,
Okay.
I got nothing. Nothing.
Also, there was Justin Timberlake's burnt toast. It went for $1,000.
That's the one on eBay, right? Yep.
Yes.
Uh,
Anyways, I just thought it was a fun article to scroll through. But the Michael Jackson jacket really shook me that somebody paid $1.8 million for that.
yeah. What is this one? In 1967, Jimi Hendrix set his guitar on fire.
Yes.
Someone bought that.
Yes.
280. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, a lot of I'm looking through it now.
A lot of people have a lot of money that I don't have because.
Somebody found one of Lady Gaga's false nails
Yes.
and sold it at an auction for more than $12,000
Yes.
for
It's ridiculous. Unless
a
I don't
fake
know.
nail.
Honestly, if you put an auction and say, "Hey, here's Bad Bunny's freaking piece of hair," I'll be betting in there. Honestly, so.
So here's the one that I think is a little interesting.
Mhm.
A Nirvana one. The iconic
Oh,
guitar from "Smells Like Teen Spirit" from the video was sold for 4.5 million.
jeez, I didn't see that one.
Kurt Cobain's iconic guitar.
Okay, but it's Kurt Cobain, it's Nirvana, and it's
Yes.
probably their biggest, most known song. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Like the
That
Thriller
makes sense.
jacket, that makes sense.
Yeah.
The fake
I
nail.
probably wouldn't buy it if I was in a position like that to buy it. I probably wouldn't. But I mean, there's people out
Yeah,
there.
the prescription bottle popped me. Honestly.
That popped you. I love the term popped you. Because we're wrestling content creators, we automatically use the wrestling verbiage in our day-to-day.
Yeah, except for
Yeah.
other people don't get it. I love when I have conversations with people that understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I've said that before. I've said I've popped, and people are like, "What?" I was like, yes, it got me. I was happy about it.
Right? Yes. If you don't understand what I'm trying to say, it means that I shared, I guess.
Yeah, I was in
Whatever
this.
you
I was
whatever you
in a
regular people
conversation
say.
once. I was in a conversation once when we were talking about something, and I said, "Okay, you're gonna be the baby face, and you're gonna be the heel," and they're like,
Yeah.
"What?" I was like, "All right, you're gonna be the protagonist, and you're gonna be the antagonist." If you didn't get it the first time, baby face and heel, what?
I saw a video on YouTube again. That's the fourth time I used this sentence. But the guy was like talking about Survivor, which I love Survivor. I made it
Yeah,
clear in this show before. And he was like, he named the videos the 5 best heel turns in Survivor. And I click on it. And the comments, he had to keep explaining it. And he explained it in the video as well. And I was like, I knew exactly what you meant. I didn't
yeah.
need an explanation.
So funny.
Yeah, it's the inside wrestling terms, you know.
Yeah,
We think
but
everybody understands us, but they don't.
speaking of Survivor, TV shows and movies, I know we always, towards the end of the show, we always get into that kind of thing. Any new, yeah, Any
No,
new?
sorry, I'm blurry. I'm
Oh,
trying to get my camera to
I
act
thought you were
right.
raising your hand like.
No.
I'm like, yes, you there in the blue.
It's purple.
Oh, is it purple? I can't. It look. I don't know.
I
It
don't
looks.
know. Isn't it? I don't know what color it is now. It looks purple to me. I'm gonna send you a picture, okay? On a different
Yeah, I
line.
have. On StreamYard, it has like by the name, the bar is blue.
Yeah.
It looks like the same color. I'll send it to you later.
No,
But
it's purple.
I could see it being purple too.
Oh God, we created the new dress drama. Remember?
Yeah. Is it blue? Oh,
It's
Dylan Nappy says it's blue.
purple. Stop. I'm gonna take a picture of it in a different light. Oh my God, it looks blue too. Okay, you know what? Let's just talk about the shows that we watched this week
Yes.
because we actually finally for once watched the same thing. Well,
We
one of
watched
them.
the same thing.
Yes, we
Maybe not
did.
the same time, but we both watched it at one point
Yes.
and have an opinion. So I would love to hear your. Well, first you can explain what we're talking about. But
So Peacock came out with a documentary. It's a 3-part documentary on Casey Anthony. It's called "Where the Truth Lies." First of all, okay, props on the name, "Where the Truth Lies," because this woman is a known liar. And she hasn't spoken about this in 11 years, I think they were talking about. This is the
yeah,
case of Kaylee Lee Anthony. She got found not guilty of the murder of her child, even though the entire world, except for the 12 jury members, found her guilty. I don't understand how that happened. So she decided to come out and tell her story, or sell her story, should we say
tell her
here.
story.
I tried to watch it. It's very hard for me to tell you that I watched it unbiasedly because I always found her guilty. I think she's
Yeah.
a POS of a person, but I still was interested to see if she would at least take ownerships of some of the things that she did. But she didn't, and this didn't make her look any better
Nope.
at all. I
Added to
didn't
the
I walked away thinking she's even guiltier now. What about you?
I had at first I had let's say it got me a little bit because I was like, huh, I see what she's saying. And then I started to believe her a little bit. And then I thought, well, this is her whole shtick. This is what she does. She reels people in. And
Yes.
I would never be one to be like, oh, like you're lying about your sexual assault or you're lying about your trauma. I don't know what happened to her.
I don't even look into that when I'm making my judgment here because I'm not one to say whether that happened or not.
Of course.
I'm going based on what she said, the events
Yeah.
of what happened to Kaylee.
Nothing
like
made
whatever
sense.
happened to her, I'm not gonna try to process because I'm nobody to like sit here and say you were assaulted or not assaulted.
Yeah. I have no idea. I have no idea.
I have no sympathy for her. I don't know, and I don't know if she's telling the truth or not, but she's not a very likable person. Period. Even the
No.
way even when she's crying, there's nothing.
I think because we already have a biased opinion about her, so it's a little different.
I really was trying, but you know what? I went on YouTube because I do watch a lot of true crime shows, and I was trying to not watch the reviewers because I assume everybody that covers true crime on YouTube is also biased about her. But there was people in the comments that had no idea, and this is the first time they've been introduced to this, and they were saying that while they don't know what's going on, she didn't seem very sympathetic, or it was very hard to believe what she was saying. I did find that interesting that they had her drive to these places where she took the cops on her lies.
Right?
Like, I was like,
Her
that's
old
savage.
job and all this stuff.
Yeah, and
someone like her should not be next to Universal, by the way.
Right. The thing of it is like she did get found guilty of lying to the police. We know she lied to them straight up. So it's like maybe we are biased, Joey, but at the same time, this is a proven convicted liar. The one thing that we're able to convict her of is that she's a liar. So even if we try to be unbiased, why would we believe this is a situation that she put herself in? Yeah. Why would we believe anything that she says if she's able to lie to the cops like that? And like they're playing some of the old tapes and she doesn't have any kind of remorse or sadness in her voice.
She just knows how to cry really well.
Yeah, like, well, now, back then, she would get annoyed at her mom when she tried to ask what's going on with Kaylee. Like, oh my God, like, the whole thing is crazy. The whole thing is crazy.
I'll say this. I don't think that she's innocent, but I do think that I do think she was an accomplice. I think there was more than one person involved in this thing. I don't think it was just her. Do you think it had anything to do with like the dad or the mom from
No,
what you
I
saw?
don't. I think she probably gave her baby something to get her to sleep so she could go and live the life that she wanted to live. And maybe she
Yeah,
gave her too much of it. And she carried her in the car for as long as she could because we know the car smelled like a dead body and
yep,
the forensics found hair particles and everything in her trunk.
yeah.
And I think I don't know that she purposely did it,
Of
but I
course,
do think
yeah,
that it could have been an accident that went very wrong. But I do think she
yeah,
was involved, and I don't know that anybody else was involved. I think they might have been an accomplice, like maybe her
yeah.
dad, completely opposite. If my theory is right, then maybe she told her dad, and her dad helped her figure out what to
Exactly. That's
do.
what I'm saying. I
You
think
know,
something like that, like like
right?
there was
Because the body
someone,
was like found down the street, like it was like 5 blocks from their house.
yeah. And the way that they found Kaylee was apparently a way that the dad used to dispose of like family.
The family pets when they
Yeah,
passed
which I
away,
don't
and
even
it
think
was
that's
with
legal
blankets.
either.
I
That's
know.
not legal to do.
It was with blankets from the house, trash bags that were proven to be from the house. So whatever happened happened in that house.
Yep.
But there's times in which the dad left, the mom left, and there's
Yep.
computer searches being made. Like the whole thing, this whole family is weird, and the fact that they all fell apart during the trial and after
Yeah.
goes to tell you that something very suspicious was going on because nobody still talks to each other to this day. So
Yeah. Dylan Matthews says, I have no clue what you're talking about, but I need to watch.
yeah, it's on
Absolutely. It's
Peacock.
on Peacock. Yep.
And
It's
they have a special also about Kaylee, like the baby that you can watch before you watch the Casey Anthony. It's like a rewind of what happened
yeah,
with the case as well. But do you watch anything else? Because I would like to end on a positive note.
of course. No, this week, I watched that. I watched because it's the season to be jolly. I watched The Grinch
Ah, cute.
for the first time since last year.
Is that your favorite Christmas movie?
It's one of them. So my family is a huge Christmas. They're Christmas fiends. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that.
they're Christmas fiends. I mean, everything we've had everything decorated since like it goes Halloween, November 1st is Christmas. Like Halloween, Christmas until January.
That's
So
cute.
we always watch different Christmas movies, but I think our favorite one, just because of for whatever reason, it's Christmas with the Cranks. It's with Tim Allen and
Yeah,
Jamie Lee Curtis.
it's a great
And
movie.
it's one of those ones that we've always just watched as a family. So it's just a family Christmas movie. But
My
that's probably
favorite
what's up
Christmas
there.
movie is Gremlins.
Really.
Yes, it is a Christmas movie.
I
It
know.
happened on Christmas.
So fun fact. Well, not a fun fact, but it's kind of weird. I love trivia. For some reason, I love trivia.
Oh, I'm a
And
trivia fiend. You just said that word. I'm a
yep,
trivia fiend.
yep. And I did a Christmas movie trivia a few weeks ago
Yeah.
on Thanksgiving with family and all the friends, everybody that was there. We did a Christmas trivia, and it said name this movie, and it was a picture from the Gremlins came up, and nobody knew what it was. I was like, the Gremlins, and I was like, wow, it's a Christmas movie. I didn't know that.
It is. So is The Exorcist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it happened on Christmas as
Yeah.
well.
But Die
Okay,
Hard apparently is not.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and if you don't think that, I can trust you.
I've seen Bruce
Uh,
Willis come out and say that it's not. I mean, to
well,
me, it is.
do you really
But
think I'm gonna trust what Bruce Willis says? No, it's Bruce Willis against the world on this one. Okay.
I love
um.
this. Dylan
Okay. So
Dylan Matthews just said my favorite Christmas movie is anything that's not Love Actually. That movie is trash.
agreed. Actually.
Yeah,
Oh my god, love movies are my version of horror.
yeah.
Anyways, so I watched other things this week for you, and you'll be proud of me. I actually took some time to watch some TV. It's because I wasn't feeling good, so I was
And this
forced to be
weather
in
is
bed.
horrible.
Yeah, but I was forced to be in bed, and I'm like, well, let
Yeah.
me watch a couple of things. Okay, so I watched Pepsi. Where's My Jet?
Okay,
It's a
I added that to
documentary.
my list. I haven't watched
Oh
it
my
yet.
god! All right, so you haven't watched it. We'll discuss when you watch it. I will give you my con. It didn't need to be 4 episodes. My pros, it was fun. Okay, so it could have
Got it.
been done shorter. Also on Netflix, I watched Killer Sally.
Okay.
It is a documentary about the bodybuilder that killed her bodybuilder husband. and then people were saying that she wasn't a victim of abuse because she was a bodybuilder. Like they were very stereotypical of her case. Very good. There's a scene in there that broke my heart. But I found it very interesting and good. I also watch Bullet Train. It's on Netflix now. Bad Bunny's in it.
Yes. That cast is stacked.
Yeah.
Stacked cast.
Bad Bunny's so good in that movie, by the way. But anyways, I watched it and I was like, I'm just gonna watch the Bad Bunny part. No, I was hooked. I loved it. Great movie. Like I could not turn it off. Brad Pitt is excellent. It's fun humor. Very it's a different kind of action humor. I really liked it. So, and last but not least, I watched a documentary called High. You remember those two girls that got caught smuggling drugs into Peru, like trying to smuggle drugs out, and it became a big thing, right? They were like socialized and people couldn't believe it.
There's a documentary on it. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's on Netflix, and it was actually very good and interesting. She's out of excuse me, she's out of prison now, so they actually talked to
I find myself finding a lot more documentaries now than movies.
That's all I watch.
Yeah.
Sadly, that's all I watch. It was so funny because I was waiting for Bullet Train to come out on Netflix. So I'm like scrolling through my Netflix. So my suggested is always documentaries and true crime. And I thought it would suggest that like at the top the day it came out on Netflix. And I was like, well, no, because it's gonna go based on what I watched. So I had to scroll a bunch to get to Bullet Train.
Oh man.
But yeah, I watched quite a few documentaries this week. All of them I thought were great. But the Pepsi Worst Might Yet is a fun one for everybody to watch. Everything else is more like true crime, like the dark crap that I'm always watching.
That was actually my plan. My plan for Thursday, because there's no wrestling on Thursday, so I have some free time. So I was planning to watch Pepsi Worst Might Yet on Thursday. But
let me know how you like it.
Yeah, no, I definitely have to check that out. There's a lot that I have to check out. I added a whole bunch of stuff to my list, but a lot to check out. Yeah,
I'm still trying to figure out what color my dress is. I even did my eye makeup purple because it was supposed to match the dress, and you guys are all telling me it's blue.
You know, now that, when you said it was purple, I automatically saw purple when you said it. It was weird. But what I'm looking at like the Know Your News logo on screen.
Yeah, I know. I see it too.
And I'm looking at different blue things, and I'm like, that's freaking blue. But it could just be, it could be our eyes that are just whatever.
Is it blue or is it purple? We have the new dress drama.
Yeah.
And I feel like on camera it's not looking the color that it is. I don't know. Okay, let's just wrap it up. I'm done for the day. I'm done.
For everybody listening and watching, if you haven't already, please smash that subscribe button down below to the Know Your News channel. We end this every week saying the same thing. There's so many different podcasts on this show, Monday through Friday, just all different types of content, movie reviews, gaming channels, sports, and we're here for your pop culture info. So thank you for everybody for listening and watching. Hit the like button. Like I said, subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you'd want to hear more of. If you like the Kardashian corner stuff that we have going on, if you like our movie reviews and show reviews and different things, anything that you want to hear more of.
And let us know in the comments what color my dress is.
Yes. And if you have a topic as well that you think that we should cover, let us know as well and send it to us. You have both of our Twitters there. I'm at Joey Karni. She's at NYC Demon Diva. Diva with a 1, not an I, because she's the one. And yeah, I want to thank everybody for listening and watching. Anything else from you, Isa?
No, I'm all good.
All good. That's how we're going to end it this week. We'll talk next week. And we'll see you. Have a good one. And thanks for watching.